Blink and you'll miss it. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Nickelodeon TV Easter eggs. For this list, we examined the several allusions or direct references that Nickelodeon television programs make to one another, whether they were subtle background imagery or outright cameos. Number 10. iCarly visible on laptop screen, Zoey 101. Zoey 101 was never shy about the ways in which it would make sly winks to its fellow Nick show, iCarly, on numerous occasions, one of the most notable being a ringtone sounding eerily similar to iCarly's opening theme song.
That's a good ringtone.
An even cooler Easter egg, however, is in an episode entitled Anger Management. At one point, Lola is seen using a computer, visiting a very familiar little website called iCarly.com. Not only is it a fun aha moment, but it additionally helps deepen the connection these Nick shows share in the simplest of ways. Number 9. Helga Pataki mask, the Angry Beavers. Hey football heads, did you catch this one? In the episode Dumbwaiters, Norbert and Daggett decide to get themselves jobs at a fine dining restaurant in order to save up enough cash to purchase unique masks for themselves. At one point in the episode, the Beavers find a box full of rubber masks and decide to take a peek inside. The masks range from goofy to spooky, but the real eye-catcher is a mask that looks identical to the Hey Arnold character, Helga Pataki. Number 8. Dancin Lobster, Victorious. A recurring gag is a great comedic device, allowing you to essentially recycle a joke that really works again and again. This is true of the Dancin Lobster routine in an April Fool's episode of Victorious. Throughout the episode, a person dressed up as a giant lobster will run into the scene, seemingly at random, and do a little jig around the characters. While on one hand these slapstick antics are played up for humor, they're additionally a reference to The Amanda Show, an earlier Nickelodeon program in which the lobster first appeared.
What, miss? Bring in the Dancin Lobsters!
While nice to know this crustacean is still getting steady work in his dancing profession. Or hobby? Who really knows? It's a dancing lobster. Number 7. Rex the Puppet, Game Shakers. Speaking of Victorious, it had its own share of original gags, such as Rex the Puppet, a ventriloquist dummy that would appear from time to time and provide a little comic relief.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to make myself cry.
Looks like you're about to puke.
It became a staple for the show, and something fans would expect to reappear on a regular basis. However, we don't think anyone expected Rex to show up on Game Shakers. In an incredibly quick, oh my god, did you catch that style moment, a van drives across the screen bearing an image along its side of the aforementioned puppet. If you look closely, Rex is driving the van to boot. It's a small addition that works in a big way. Number 6. Who Lives in a Pineapple Under the Sea, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. This thrilling spoof of the James Bond series has Jimmy hired to work as a spy, sent on quite the wild adventure, traveling to many different locations, including the bottom of the ocean. Now, when one thinks of Nickelodeon and being under the sea, there's no doubt that all of our minds shift towards a certain yellow fellow with a shiny red tie. Sure enough, his trademark pineapple house can be seen in the background of a shot as Jimmy swims by. It isn't the focus of the scene, but anyone who spots it can appreciate the sly wink to fans worldwide of one very goofy sponge. Number 5. Familiar props, Sam and Cat. Sometimes for production purposes, a set or props may be reused to help cut back on the budget. This makes sense business-wise, but if it's additionally done in a creative and clever manner, that's just a bonus for the viewer. Throughout this series, if you study the surroundings of each scene, you may notice a few familiar objects laying around. The eponymous Sam, upon jumping to this show after iCarly concluded, brought her sound effect buzzer with her. Kat, meanwhile, has a portrait of her teacher, Mr. Psychowitz, serving as a neat callback to her old stomping grounds on Victorious. Number 4. How come that little girl's so good at pranks? iCarly. While watching television, it's revealed that Carly is literally viewing an episode of Drake and Josh, the show in which actress Miranda Cosgrove had previously appeared as the character Megan. During the episode, Megan is up to her usual shenanigans, torturing Drake and Josh with her trademark pranks, something which Carly is very fast to point out.
How come that little girl's so good at pranks?
It's a very meta level of humor that's sure to have fans of both series beside themselves with a serious case of the giggles. Cherry on the cake, Carly later calls out Spencer as the character Crazy Steve from Drake and Josh in a very similar scenario.
You're the one with the man.
why'd you turn that off?
I'm turning you off.
Number 3. CatDog and SpongeBob cameos. Hey Arnold. Sometimes what's going on in the background of a scene can be just as entertaining as what's right in front of you. Hey Arnold seemed to understand this concept extremely well, with plenty of background gags over the course of the series. What arguably served as the most memorable of the bunch were references to both CatDog and SpongeBob, with the titles of each show appearing as their own respective comic book series on shelves inside of a shop. It makes you wonder if CatDog and SpongeBob secretly sold comic book stories about themselves. Nah, it's just meant to be fun. And what fun it is. Number 2. Now She's Carly. Drake and Josh. Drake and Josh had a great run while on Nickelodeon, but everything must sadly come to an end. Fans were fortunate to learn that Miranda Cosgrove was spinning off into her own show that would become equally popular called iCarly. In tribute to their castmate landing the big gig, and as a sort of passing the torch, during one of the final episodes, the premiere movie theater is playing a film titled Now She's Carly. Obviously, this isn't a real movie, but rather a reference to Cosgrove now transitioning into her new role.
Do you know everything?
Well played. Well played. Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
You see, this has a 15-inch screen, dual Hemi processor, and it's got the quadruport speed drive, which is like ultra state-of-the-art.
You know, you're actually not terrible.
What in Bikini Bottom is happening right now? You two look exactly alike.
What's Cliff doing all by himself?
Let's find out.
Hey, Cliff!
Let's see. The bread mold.
This 3D is so realistic.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Familiar Old Geezers, The Loud House. In the episode titled Link or Swim, our main characters go to a swimming pool for some rest and relaxation. There are the usual funny antics one would come to expect, but the real highlight is a genuine treat for anyone who enjoyed Nicktoons growing up.
I just replaced this hip!
Next to the pool is a group of elderly people who look remarkably similar to Lou Pickles from Rugrats, Miss Bitters from Invader Zim, Grandpa Phil from Hey Arnold, Miss Fowl from Jimmy Neutron, and Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender. There have been cool Easter eggs on this list, but the Loud House managed to toss a bunch together in one scene, which we feel is quite the achievement. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.